Sometimes brands don't get things perfectly right. Like when Vacheron Constantin released what might be their hottest ever overseas variation, late in 2019. And if a future classic falls outside of a watch fair, does it make a sound? Either way, it's turned the overseas dual time in red and black into a rarely seen sleeper. But boy, when you see it. The Vacheron Constantin Overseas was first released in 1996 as a throwback to a watch referred to as simply Reference 222, which was released in 1977. This was, of course, right in the thick of the integrated steel sports uprising that had been started 5 years earlier by Audemars Piguet with the revolutionary Royal Oak, and then followed by Patek Philippe's Nautilus in 1976, when I was born. While many 70s contemporaries of the Royal Oak were designed by Gerald Genta, the Vacheron Constantin Reference 222 was not. It was designed by the German George Heisek, who was just 24 at the time. The Overseas collection is now in its third generation, and while the broader current range features everything from simple three-handed time-only watches all the way to tourbillons and perpetual calendars, arguably the most popular complication for a sports watch is the GMT function. The Vacheron Constantin Overseas Dual Time has a 41mm case that has been finished with a mix of brushed and polished techniques that serve to highlight the sharply faceted case lines, and it stands just 12.8mm tall. The instantly recognisable bezel features 6 notches that are inspired by the Maltese cross that forms the brand's insignia. There is a sense of stacked geometric shapes at play here, with a round plinth emerging beneath the cutout top section atop the case proper. In terms of heft on the wrist, the Overseas Dual Time wears bigger than its 12.8mm of height, and this is largely due to the impression left by its 3-tier construction. While it's a long way from overbearing to wear, there is no avoiding the fact that this is a strong look, which is confirmed by the weight on wrist of 176 grams. The extra muscles the Dual Time has on its steel sports contemporaries is also matched in water resistance, with this model good for 150 meters below the surface. Now the dial. The translucent black lacquered dial is a totally different proposition than the other blue and white options the Overseas Dual Time is available in. The black has a shimmering depth to it that you only find in lacquer dials. While black might be the most conservative colour available in the collection, the details are what really bring it to life. The date subdial features a concentric pattern, while the AM/PM indicator and minute track both have matte textures that contrast well against the gloss of the rest of the dial. Despite its asymmetry, the overall impression of the watch is one of balance. Turning the watch over, we find an exhibition caseback that exposes the finely finished movement within. The caseback screws down for that guaranteed 150 meters of water resistance. The watch features 2 crowns, both of which screw down to protect against intruding moisture. The first crown at 3 o'clock is for time setting, including the second time zone, while the second crown at 4 o'clock is a pusher that can be used to adjust the date mechanism. Strap and bracelet technology is an area that the Vacheron Constantin Overseas has dominated their peers in the Holy Trinity, offering simple-to-use, quick-change mechanisms that make switching between rubber, leather, or steel bracelet very easy. All 3 straps are included with the watch, which is something of an argument that you get more than one watch in the deal. The second crown, positioned at 4, is actually a push piece, and it's a joy to use. The main crown offers all the tactile pleasure that you would expect from a Geneva Seal authenticated watch. There is 0 play as you adjust the crown, and just enough resistance to offer complete reassurance all 234 components are in their right place. Visible through the sapphire crystal caseback is the automatic caliber 5100 DT, which features a 22 karat gold rotor, running at 4 Hz and offering a decent power reserve of 60 hours. It's comprised, as we said, of 234 components. The movement is sumptuously finished, with richly textured Côte de Genève stripes and beveling on the edges of the movement bridges. In summary, all things considered, the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Dual Time, with that lovely translucent black dial and those popping red highlights, is a major contemporary play from one of the best and oldest, they claim in fact the oldest, watchmakers of all time. The black dial is a reprieve from the white-hot steel sports market, and one that is also arguably more versatile than blue or white or silver or others. The case design and bracelet are aggressive and contemporary, while still paying respect to the original Vacheron Constantin sports watch in the reference 222. Even better is that the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Dual Time is actually relatively accessible in this market, without requiring you to sign up for years-long wait lists. In the context of the rest of the Holy Trinity, which is Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet, it offers genuine value due to its relative price point, accessibility, Geneva seal quality, and its both practical and beautiful design. If you're looking for a steel sports watch that offers the best of Swiss watchmaking in a package that is thoroughly wearable as a daily option, the Overseas Dual Time is well worth considering.